As anime fans, there's nothing more exciting for us than the main character flipping the switch and going into full god mode, right? You know, when the bad guys have that "oh crap" expression after witnessing the glory of our overpowered main character. It's nothing but a moment of pure satisfaction. So today, we'll be listing some of the best moments when the overpowered main character goes into complete god mode and absolutely destroys their opponents. But before we move on, be sure to subscribe to the channel and press on that bell icon and set us all to be notified about all our latest new videos. And with that said, let's dive in.
なぜですの
離滅剣を掌握すれば俺にかなうと思ったかお前はガンブツだアボス・ビューヘビア
Coming up at number 10 is the Demon King Anos Voldigod, the guy who is always in god mode. You already know it's over when this guy activates his purple eyes, which he did in his fight against the false Demon King. Avos, aka Misa, had only one goal ever since she was born: to kill the Demon King, thanks to Nosgalia. She comes face to face with Anos and takes control of his sword, Veneznor. But when you have a godly power or a sword, no matter how powerful it is nothing but a ragged stick to you. Our main character gives a calm smile to his enemy, which is literally a sign that he's going to completely trash Avos like she was just another mob. And just like that, within a blink of an eye, the true Demon King of Tyranny killed Avos, who had been making those silly little claims. And seriously, this guy would be called a demon god because he's too powerful to be called a demon king. Come on, everybody, let's get our title straight here. I wonder in what world Avos thought she had a chance at winning against a guy that chose his own name when he was born. Next up, we have a character from Tsukimichi, who is undeletable because he is just so overpowered. Yes, I'm talking about Makoto, who literally has the power to create an entire other world. What's funny is that when he was isekai'd into the fantasy world, he gained even more magical energy than the goddess of that world. I mean, how do you compete with that kind of guy? Makoto initially struggled in his fight against Dragon Slayer Sophia, who's a pretty powerful adventurer, and Mitsurugi, a greater dragon. He even lost 2 fingers, but damn it, Makoto's will to live forced him to flip the switch and turn on his god mode. And boy, oh boy, did he make the 2 pee their pants.
散々好きなようにもてあそんでくれやがりましたお礼だ
It was surely satisfying to see both Sophia and Mitsurugi's "we screwed up" expression, and our main character got so annoyed and decided just to nuke everything. We know it's about to get serious when the main character starts removing one of his 8 active limiters, right? I genuinely wonder what will happen if he removes all of them. Earth becomes deleted? Well, maybe. If you ever end up in the same isekai world as Makoto, make sure not to get on his bad side, right? And up next we have Yuichiro becomes the King of Salt. Have you ever wondered what it means if an overpowered main character just goes, "It's all over"? Yeah, it literally means absolute annihilation. We're talking about Yuichiro after all, who goes through his final transformation as the King of Salt, aka the Second Trumpet. Now, the King of Salt is not just salty, he's a whole salt shaker. Why? Well, he wants all the humans gone because they're sinners. Now, how done can you be of someone to want them to completely vanish from their own living space? Anyway, the King of Salt resides within Yuichiro and ends up gaining full control over him, and to be honest, he looked more like a demon god than anyone else. After going into his god mode as the King of Salt, Yuichiro turned everyone into huge piles of salt, letting them scatter everywhere within the wind. Seriously, what else did you guys expect? But yeah, the King of Salt is extremely powerful and a formidable opponent for anyone, and they better stay away from him if they don't want to turn into salt. Bro's sodium levels must be through the roof, and I'm assuming prices will plummet in salt soon. You know, that whole shtick of supply and demand. And up next we have solo leveling. Ah yes, Sung Jin-woo, the ultimate badass character who's famous for being overpowered and the face of Korean manhwa. He's like Chuck Norris of the anime world, except Chuck Norris would take notes from him. His battle against Ygritte was a highly anticipated one, and it broke the internet as soon as it got animated. Now in the first half of the fight, Ygritte said to himself, "I'd win. Oh, how the mighty, well, not so mighty, have fallen." He did shut down Jin-woo's god complex initially, but here's where Ygritte messed up. He forgot that Sung Jin-woo's actual god mode is a thing. Sung Jin-woo decided to use his bare fists, abandoning his weapons to deal with his deadly opponent. I guess when you're fighting for your life, who needs a sword, right? Now our boy did get brutally beaten in the process, but in a bold final move, he drove his blade into Ygritte's eye and won the battle. Even when Ygritte had been pulling all the tricks up his sleeves, Jin-woo made him sit his butt down after unleashing his god mode, as well as the voice actors. And moving on, we have Gabimaru the Hollow, a man who just never seems to die. Just imagine the amount of power this man has. He's practically immortal. In his fight against some of the most heinous and dangerous criminals who were pitted against him, Gabimaru showed once and for all who the boss truly is. Though, fair warning, Gabimaru kills the criminals in the most brutal ways possible. The dude's hands were literally bound, and he was using either his fingernails or his teeth to rip apart criminal skin. So if you don't like gore, just skip this one. I absolutely love how the Shogun went from enjoying the bloodshed to nearly peeing himself after witnessing Gabimaru's god mode. Gabimaru is like that final boss in a video game who's impossible to beat no matter how much you try. And our boy's most gifted ability is not only in hand-to-hand combat, there's also his intelligence and experience as well. And honestly, no villain would like to be his target. Gabimaru the Hollow? More like Gabimaru the Chad. And talking about Chads, we have the ultimate king of all Chads, which is Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach. His fight against the Bambis, aka Quissy girls, is an iconic one for many reasons. The girls had been wreaking havoc everywhere, to the point that they fried a man as strong as Zaraki Kenpachi. But as soon as Ichigo arrived at the scene, something shifted and the girls couldn't help but notice the new formidable force that was going to annihilate the four of them. The universe really put the game over button for them, all thanks to Ichigo. The Bambis soon realized how outmatched they were in comparison to Ichigo because the dude soloed the four of them without even breaking a sweat. He didn't even care about the fact that he was up against four women. His powers are rated E for everyone. So if you need a reminder of what a peak Chad looks like, just think about Ichigo, who casually walks into the battlefield absolutely baffling and overwhelming his opponents with his powers in a matter of minutes. And next up, we're going to take a look and talk about Wang Ling's rage mode that made him go absolutely berserk, which is from the daily life of the Immortal King. This is one of the best rage scenes of all time in the history of anime. Wang Ling is the most powerful cultivator, yet despite his godlike abilities, he's still trying to figure out the ultimate horror, surviving high school. Battling demonic forces? No problem. Surviving high school? Send reinforcements. Dude's so powerful that his father had to seal off his powers or else it was game over for the world. His rage mode was activated when Jing killed his beloved son Rong. Overcome with grief and fury, Wang Ling broke the seal and activated God mode, absolutely butchering Jiang. Fun fact, his father stopped time in order to control Wang Ling. Oh, nice try, Dad. But our boy Wang Ling was too powerful to be contained by something as trivial as the fabric of time. I wonder what was going through Jiang's mind when she challenged someone as powerful as Wang Ling. But hey, she provided him with the perfect opportunity to unleash his true abilities and give us all a visual treat. Now, moving up the list, we have a guy who has a main character syndrome. Yes, we're talking about Sid Kagano, aka Shadow, from Eminence in Shadow, who got isekai to a fantasy world after dying and got what he wished for: to be a mysterious hero who works in the shadows. Now, Shadow is extremely overpowered, and there's no one who can possibly beat him in terms of hits or even wits. We get to see his glorious god mode when he's unleashed his infamous I Am Atomic attack against Zenom, who turned himself into a monster after taking a bunch of pills. This attack causes a massive nuclear reaction and leaves a deep crater in the area where it's unleashed. Shadow isn't just playing the part though, he's redefining what it means to be an overpowered character. He doesn't just defeat his enemies, he obliterates them in a way that makes sure they, and anyone watching, will never forget. Also, his voice while saying I am atomic feels like he's whispering in your ears without your consent, to be honest. So it's just so smooth and powerful that it just gives me chills.
死ねメギド2435
Talking about chills, there's another anime character who sends shivers down our spine when he activates his god mode. And I'm talking about Rimuru Tempest from the time I got reincarnated as a slime. And he happens to become the most powerful being of his world. So what happens when Rimuru unleashes his god mode? Well, there's this spell called Megiddo, which harnesses spirit magic to form tiny water droplets manipulated by water elementals. These droplets act as lenses, concentrating light into lethal laser beams. The lasers are so powerful that they're deadly even to special A-rank individuals such as Fulgen. We see Rimuru activating using this against the Kingdom of Falmouth, and absolutely annihilating the army of 5,000 men in a matter of seconds. One moment there's an army, the next moment there's a light show from hell. And let's be real here, when the laser rain starts falling, you know you've messed with the wrong slime. And fun fact, when Rimuru said Megiddo, I also died. I genuinely feel sorry for all the soldiers who tasted death after being hit by Rimuru's rage. And at number 1 is a very beloved and a very powerful anime character whose powers are extremely terrifying, which is Frieren. Now, Frieren is a mage that has vast amounts of experience, and considering the time she spent living, she has an entire arsenal full of extremely powerful spells. But when she activates her god mode, all of her previous spells seem pale in comparison. We get to see Frieren's glorious powers against her own clone in a dungeon, and let me tell you, Frieren's opening attack was materializing a freaking black hole. A black hole. Breaking the fundamentals of physics? Not a problem, and the best part is that she does it all with this calm, almost nonchalant demeanor. Thanks to this fight against Frieren's clone, we get to see so much of her offensive magic that we've never seen before. She even has what looks to be celestial or star magic and even gravity magic. It also reveals how scary it is just to face her. Do you guys think Frieren was going all out? Because I don't think she was, using even half the power she has yet. However, she was pretty serious throughout the battle, and this is the kind of fight that will definitely go down in anime history. Scholars will write epic poems about it, bards will sing ballads, and anime fans will argue over which spell was the most overpowered.
隙だらけです
Now that's a wrap for today, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up before you go. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and press on that bell icon and keep yourself notified of all our latest new videos. Feel free to drop a comment under the video with your favorite character from today's list and let us know if there's anyone you think we should add or goes beyond God mode. We love hearing from you, and as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.